Micron announced that they're ending the Crucial consumer brand of PC storage devices to focus on, you guessed it, AI data centers instead. Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show to wish that customers mattered more than investment bubbles.
Yeah, I'm a real human. Look at this. I'm not popping. No, you put money in me and I'll keep it. Jeez. What is AI not going to take from us, Bruce? It took away our affordable consoles. It's taken away people's free will and thinking skills. Just take it all. Jeez. It's no wonder people don't like AI, man. Every day it's something new that AI has stolen from your life.
That's true. Only the tech bros love it because they think it's making them money. Crucial, the nearly 30-year-old PC brand, I didn't realize 30 years old, will end as of February 2026. Though parent company Micron promises it'll continue to provide warranty service and product support for those Crucial products.
Well, that's nice, I guess. Micron isn't really even being coy about why they're doing this. Micron Technology EVP and Chief Business Officer Sumit Sadana said, quote, "The AI-driven growth in the data center has led to a surge in demand for memory and storage," in a statement, adding that closing the Crucial line of business will, quote, "improve supply and support for our larger strategic customers in faster-growing segments."
This sucks, Lawrence. This really fucking sucks. But we all know it points to a larger trend. AI powering data centers are directly competing for the same hardware parts used in gaming, which shows that we were ahead of the curve always.
That's right. But people would rather use those parts to, I guess, make grocery lists for themselves instead of play video games, which is a real tragedy. But the scope of this issue is very real, or at least its effects are becoming very real. And quarterly revenues kind of tell that tale for us. NVIDIA has just been an outrageous company over the last, 10 years, but 2 years especially.
Yeah, absolutely. So in Q3 fiscal year 2026, NVIDIA announced a total revenue for their entire company of $57 billion. Now, the reason, I know, that's insane. They're basically propping up the U.S. economy currently. Their gaming segment only generated a pathetic $4.3 billion in revenue, or 7.5%.
Yeah, this is the company that I always synonymized with gaming, but in the last handful of years, the data center revenue they're taking in, we'll put air quotes around that revenue, is just absurd. And if you're in business, it's kind of hard to ignore that. And by the way, the fact that gaming is only 7.5% of their total revenue, it's a shrinking share. And also that amount of revenue was 30% up from year over year. So that segment's actually doing better than you could ever hope for. And somehow it is still just shoved into the corner. Cobwebs on it, nobody cares. Because data center spending is just outrageous.
Yep, this graph of NVIDIA's revenues does a great job illustrating the runaway spending in data centers for AI. So even though gaming is doing very well by any other business accounting, data center spending is just outrageous. It's just like in the trillions now.
Yeah, some would even call that unsustainable, unhealthy, maybe. And the fact that it's starting to affect just normal consumer operations is a big sign of that. There's, of course, the issue that a lot of these companies are getting investment money and they're really just paying each other. Like OpenAI will buy stuff from NVIDIA, then NVIDIA buys stuff from OpenAI. And revenues are not really generated anywhere along this process, which is what a bubble is. And when companies start calling their investments back, the bubble pops, and it pops all at once. So that's not great. But in the meantime, we are the ones being squeezed.
Yep. The ripple effects are definitely being felt throughout. CyberPower PC announced in late November that they would be adjusting prices upward on December 7th, citing the surge in RAM and SSD prices.
Yeah, Hong Kong hardware site HKEPC reports, and this is courtesy of a translation from PC Gamer, they report that motherboard sales have dropped by as much as 50% as customers downsize or delay their upgrade plans.
Times Hardware observed that a 64 gigabyte kit of DDR5 RAM now costs more than an entire PlayStation 5.
That's the thing. That makes me feel like an idiot for even recommending PC stuff in general when a PlayStation 5 is that inexpensive and can play all the top line games. Man, what? This sucks. For the first time in console history, this is another sign of the times, game consoles actually increased over their life cycle on the market. That never happened before, ever.
New hardware like the Steam Machine, even the ROG Xbox Ally are unable to announce prices until just before launch because of all this crazy upheaval in the RAM, SSD. Some cases, graphics cards prices, just everywhere.
Yeah, I did see some headlines. Some hardware suppliers are announcing that they're opening or investing in new factories to try to meet demand for these PC parts. But the demand has outpaced anyone's ability to match it, actually build physical new factories. And that supply is probably not going to go into stores so actual people can buy it. It's just going to go right into data centers. So this sucks, especially with stuff like the Steam Machine. Products being announced that could be an affordable and easy point to entry to what we I think both consider to be a better gaming ecosystem. It sucks that now, on the precipice of a great PC renaissance, this other technology has to come along and swipe up all the hardware and make it harder to get into.
Yeah, this is not good, and I don't think it's forever, because we've seen this before, right? We saw this with crypto when everybody was popping off on crypto. NVIDIA was selling graphics cards to all those miners. And then, of course, the graphics cards prices went up. They were hard to get, blah, 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 etc. That settled out. It took a couple years, but it settled out. And I think I'll be positive. I'll be optimistic here, Lawrence. I think the same thing will happen with RAM. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait it out if I need to upgrade. A year and a half. Hopefully something will be settled in that time so that we're not paying $700 for 32 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so for the sake of everybody who wants to spiffy up their PC. Because otherwise, yeah, it's just going to drive everyone to a console. Although that'll make the next generation of consoles a bit more difficult as well. If they want to build top-of-the-line gaming machines that's going to use the exact same high-speed storage and RAM that these data centers are all hoovering up as fast as they can. So that might affect the actual specs. That might affect the build that both Microsoft and PlayStation target, just to make sure that they can actually make enough products to justify making it in the first place. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer because, yeah, this could be one of the best periods in PC gaming. There's a lot of new markets, a lot of great games. But alas, it's always got to be complicated. And I'm glad you brought up the crypto stuff. This seems like the magnitude is so much higher, though. I mean, video cards are important, but so is RAM. You can't really have a PC without it. And it does determine a lot of your performance. So, man, it's a bummer that that's getting hit so hard.
Also, another interesting thing about console prices, as we were watching them go up over the last couple of years, is we're like, oh, it's got to be tariffs, that sort of thing. The tariffs are not helping, obviously. But I wonder if the console makers were ahead of their time here and knew they could see that RAM was becoming an issue for AI data centers and SSDs and things like that. And I wonder if the prices are getting raised on them from their suppliers too, because they usually sign a contract. It'll say, like, we'll supply you for the next 7 years, whatever it is, for the generation of or the lifetime of the console. But then those suppliers were like, well, we need to renegotiate here. All the prices are going up. And what I'm getting at is that the Steam Machine is not going to be as cheap as we want it because of these precise market conditions that now we're all having to deal with. And that does not bode well for the Steam Machine's price.
I agree. Unfortunately, yeah. I had when every supplier was raising price, especially in a competitive market. I agree. That is a sign that they know something that the market doesn't or hasn't quite caught on to yet. And yeah, I think that their suppliers in early 2024, you can see if you correlate NVIDIA's revenues to supposed demand, yeah, that's kind of when the graph really starts to spike up. So I think a lot of those price increases were a reaction, but also protection a little bit. I don't think even PlayStation or Microsoft quite knew how fast and how ridiculous this would take off. Maybe some business folks had an idea, but yeah, I think they gave themselves some padding. And also, this is what sucks about inflation and tariffs and everything, is that companies are pushed into, or they're incentivized to increase price, and then the market doesn't really punish them for it. So they unfortunately learned that maybe they were keeping their prices lower than they needed to all that time. Or really, I think it's shifting their customer base up, and they're still finding customers in that higher price range, which is also not good. Want to make sure that they are still motivated, and competition enforces them to keep prices down. But yeah, when you're competing with AI, that's what sucks, is I guess it doesn't really yield to normal market, the normal market forces that keep things cheap for people.
Yeah, everybody really needs to they get their grocery list and have something like an essay written for them. So I guess we'll all fucking eat shit while that happens, won't we, Lawrence?
Yep. Hello, ChatGPT. Write a birthday letter for my mom, please. I have to eulogize my grandfather. Could you write that for me? I need to break up with my wife. She's boring me. I'd rather be with you, ChatGPT. You tell me everything I want to hear.
There's a really funny article that I just read about how ChatGPT told someone to, they were like talking about, managing the directories in a computer, and they deleted their entire C drive. ChatGPT just got rid of the whole thing. So,
hey, it might have done that person a favor. Get off the computer. Go outside.
all right, let's move on to Half-Life 3 watch. Gamers under siege.
Bruce, it's never been more happening. Never, ever. We got a real actual leak here. This is even better than that one Make-A-Wish kid that got to play Half-Life 3 10 years ago. No. This one's for real. Why? Because secrecy. It's so clandestine. Quote, I'm wiping this account tomorrow, writes Source 2 Leak AIML. And that was 3 days ago from an account that still hasn't been wiped. So I guess it's evaded Gabriel's vision for now. But we know that won't be long because this is real. All right, this source claims to have worked for a lab that generated some sort of predictive physics model for Half-Life 3. Ooh. So it can do massive, big physics, Bruce, a processing breakthrough. Here's a quote for you. Valve has integrated a pipeline into Source 2 that allows them to brute force high-fidelity simulations to build ground truth data sets. Doesn't that sound fun? Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it sounds rad. So in the comments they revealed, including that Half-Life 3 will have 100 times the physics. 100 times the physics? I don't even know what that means.
You see one box falling over. 100 boxes, just all bubbling around. Oh, baby. My heart is going so fast right now, just imagining all those physics. They also said in comments that the game will be announced on December 11th. Guess what? That's the same day as the Game Awards. So we got it. We locked it down. We're gonna see a demo on stage. We're gonna see all those physics. There's gonna be water sloshing into other water, knocking over boxes, rolling down stairs, ragdolls in a toilet. Oh man, Half-Life 3 is gonna be amazing. See you all on December 11th.
Lawrence and I are going to be streaming it live, and we've got 3 shots lined up ready for when they announce Half-Life 3. They announce Half-Life 3. Both Lawrence and I are going to take 3 shots of alcohol, and then we're just going to get drunk. I'll be celebrating all night. It's going to be great.
Peace in our time, Bruce. Yeah. If I can, I'm trying to get some custom sweatshirts made for us to commemorate the occasion. Oh, so yeah. We'll be wearing our matching Half-Life 3 December 11th, 2025 shirts. 3 shots in. I'm going to throw up on that thing before the night's over.
You're right. Thank you so much for joining us on this long journey to Half-Life 3. Hopefully your PC is all upgraded and ready. You got your $700 RAM. I'm sure you do.
Hey, we won't need it thanks to this. Thanks to the ground truth data sets. It'll save all that processing power. We'd like to thank a few folks, especially that have kept us company through this long night, this long winter between Half-Life Alyx and Half-Life 3. They support us directly through the Inside Games Patreon. So thank you very much, Overly Sarcastic Productions, Scotty Ryan, E. Compton 3, Brown Sugar, and Aristotle Cabot-Buras for being more reliable than a trustworthy crowbar. Bong, 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 bong. Oh man, that crowbar is going to swing faster than ever in Half-Life 3.